The top 10 first issues debuting this week on New Comic Book Day, April 7th, 2021. Hey everyone, it's vmcampos, comic book fan. Welcome to another episode of the weekly vmcampos Comic Book Club. This is the series where I count down the top 10 first issues that are debuting this week on New Comic Book Day. These are the comics you want to get your hands on. They're all issue number ones. Great to get in on the ground floor of a new story, a new character, or maybe find a cool variant. If you enjoy the series, consider heading over to the Patreon, patreon.com/vmcampos, and pledging at $1. You also get exclusives at the $2 range. But for the moment, let's get on with the list. Alright, at number 10, we've got AGGRETSUKO MEET HER WORLD, number 1 by Oni Press. This is written by Molly Muldoon and art by Kel McDonald. So, AGGRETSUKO is a fun show on the streaming platforms. She also has a comic book. This is the third series. There was a regular series, and there was Meet Her Friends, and now there's Meet Her World. So, issue number 1 of the original AGGRETSUKO comic sold out. People loved it. And now here is a new series. When a new company-wide project takes a person from each department to form a task force, Haida is chosen from accounting, Gori from marketing, and Washimi representing the president, leaving Retsuko to do all the work. Retsuko begins to feel left out, especially after Gori and Washimi have to cancel on karaoke night. This is a fun office comic book with cute characters. There's also a variant cover. This one is by Abigail Starling. I like this one better than the other cover. The other cover is fine, but this one's just so cute. Look at that. She's running around with pastries and slipping all over the place. I always liked that the fur on her face, it looked like tears. So I've had to pick this for number 10 on the list. Number 9 on the list is from Scout Comics, Impure number 1, written by Ralph Singh, art by Haynes Radke, and cover art by Miki Montolo. I like this cover art a lot. It's pretty evocative, some sort of mechanical people getting vibes of Tetsuo from Akira, and we've got the character in the background with the eyes covered up. Pretty interesting. So the actual plot here. The newest entry in the Scout non-stop imprint, years after Nero and Minerva's homeworld Castor was destroyed by aliens, the siblings joined the dreaded Earth forces to ensure something like this will never happen again. So we don't get any preview art right here, but again, this cover art looks cool, although the interior artist is different. This is over from Scout. Seems like a pretty interesting story. Enjoy the world premiere issue, followed by the entire story collected soon after in one volume. This is sort of a new style that I've been seeing, that you get the first issue to whet your appetite, and then the whole collection comes shortly thereafter. I'm used to having comics either on a monthly basis, or collected eventually in trades, and here there's this new model of one issue, and then the rest coming soon. Tell me what you think about that sort of model, but in the meantime, this is number 9 on the list. At number 8, I picked Hero Tomorrow Comics' Bloom number 1 of 4. So it's a 4-issue series that you can get into early on if you like it. We've got written by Ted Sikora, art by Butch K. Mappa, and cover art here by Bong Dazo. And this cover, I definitely feel like I was near some bongs by looking at this cover. It's so psychedelic. The year is 1969. Ramsey is an aspiring comic book artist who is trying to find inspiration for his femme fatale. When he meets wild dancer Regina at a street fair, he invites her into the woods for a character photo shoot where she begins to break on through to the other side. So there's a lot of psychedelic action happening in this comic. You can definitely see it there in the cover. We also have a variant cover over here. So you get sort of like a flash of Jimi Hendrix, Summer of Love. Well, it is 1969. A little bit of text down here. Hey, Ramsey, let's go home. The dancer is giving me the creeps. Ramsey? So obviously her provocative dancing is really getting to Ramsey. So this is a cool comic to check out. It's in issue number 1 of 4 from a really indie publisher, and you kind of find a lot of variety of stories when you go with them, rather than the big publishers. Here they can kind of explore a little bit more, so check them out. They're at number 8. Number 7 has Image Comics' Geiger number 1. This is written by Jeff Johns and art by Gary Frank. This is the regular cover, Gary Frank cover, this mushroom cloud with a skull. Industry heavyweights Jeff Johns and Gary Frank of DC's Doomsday Clock reteam for what will be one of the most anticipated new series of 2021. Who are the scavengers of a dying Earth? Geiger is set in the years since a nuclear war ravaged the planet. Desperate outlaws battle for survival in a world of radioactive chaos. Some name him Joe Glow, others call him the Meltdown Man, but his name is Geiger. We also have some interior art that you can check out right here. So this realistic modern style, interesting panel layout. I like this crater right here in the middle of the night with a beautiful full moon. So yeah, we've got some variant covers as well. This is the Erik Larsen variant cover, so you can definitely see that Erik Larsen inspired style to the character here. I like the design of it in terms of the old Marvel Comics group trade dress. And then we've got this really cool Jason Fabok cover as well. This one's pretty epic. So Joe Glow right here reminds me a little bit of the Spectre and other such characters, the Green Llama, perhaps. So Geiger #1 from Image Comics. Marvel Comics isn't the only company that can publish Conan comics. Over at Ablaze, we can get the public domain version of Conan, also known as the Cimmerian. So there's been several different Cimmerian comic books from Ablaze over the last couple of years. Here's the latest one, the Cimmerian, Iron Shadows in the Moon. Originally written by Robert E. Howard, of course. Here we have an adaptation by Virginie Augustine, art by Virginie Augustine, and this is the cover art by Brian Level. They keep using the same tagline right here to get you hyped for this. Robert E. Howard's Conan is brought to life uncensored. Discover the true Conan, unrestrained, violent, and sexual. Read the story as he intended. A young woman in danger is pursued by her vile master. Conan, whose family has just been wiped out by the same master, puts an end to the beauty's pursuer and saves her with a blow with his sword. So it's another Conan, it's another the Cimmerian story, and I enjoyed the previous ones. I'm going to pick this one up definitely. We have a variety of variant covers. This is the Virginie Augustine cover. They're doing the interior art, and this cover looks great. It doesn't have any trade dress, but I'm sure the published one will have the trade dress. I like how this looks, these zombies on the moon. We've also got the Caio Baldissimo cover, just a focus on Conan himself. Very stark and powerful brute. And we've got this one, which I don't love very much. It's an homage to the comic book styles. I'm not sure what they're trying to homage here. I think it says well, when you get the book, it'll say what it is. But this isn't the homage cover. I don't love it. I think my favorite one is the interior artist version of the art. So, picking #6 on the list. Another Image comic makes the list. This is Silver Coin #1 of 5, written by Chip Zdarsky and art by Michael Walsh. Eisner Award-winning artist Michael Walsh teams up with all-star lineup of collaborators including Chip Zdarsky, Kelly Thompson, Ed Brisson, and Jeff Lemire in a new horror anthology miniseries for mature readers. So I'm picking this one because I like anthology series. I like horror series. We have a lot of talents coming up in these 5 issues, and so I picked Silver Coin. Now, there is a bit of a horror aspect to the comic in this cover. There's like the blood on the guitar and that devilish face plus the upside down cross. But on the other variant covers, the Tula Lote variant, I love Tula's art, but I don't feel that this is very much horror-wise. There's a little bit of blood on the hands, but it doesn't quite feel horror except with those yellow tones. But then the third variant cover, this is by Maria Nguyen. This is definitely horror. It gives me some like Junji Ito vibes. Very scary person clawing out their eyes, basically, in black, white, and red. So this is the cover if you want to get scared. And an anthology horror series is always fun. Yes, I was waiting for the next Beasts of Burden comic, and it is finally here. This is #4 on the list from Dark Horse Comics, written by Evan Dorkin and Sarah Dyer, cover art and interior art by Benjamin Dewey. The 8-time Eisner Award-winning comic book series blending fantasy and humor returns in a historical adventure blending Japanese and Western occult. So Beasts of Burden is about these magical dogs that battle occult and mysterious things. This one takes place as a flashback in World War II. There's also a shape-changing tanuki. This has some variant covers. We've got the John McCree cover, very colorful. This is a scary cover right here. This demonic energy coming from this poor little doggy. Beautiful tones, just scary, very and evocative, and the story itself has always been very entertaining, mystical, occult, scary with these cute little doggies, and I enjoy Evan Dorkin's and Sarah Dyer's work on this. There have been a variety of artists, interior artists, and here Benjamin Dewey's is a good artist, so I'm definitely picking this up, and you should too if you like dogs and the occult. At number 3, I picked the new Green Lantern Volume 7. Where does the time go? Number 1, this is the Brian Hitch cardstock cover. The synopsis here, it's written by Jeffrey Thorne and art by Dexter Soy. As this new Green Lantern series begins, the newly formed United Planets and the Guardians of the Universe hold an intergalactic summit to decide who can best serve and protect the cosmos from danger. So if you're into Green Lantern, we've got a brand new issue number 1 to enjoy. We've also got a variant cover. This is the one I'm going to get. This is the one that I really like, the Alex Maleev cover. I always like Maleev's artwork. This one looks definitely more painterly than others that he's done, and the green tones on this just look amazing. I love Jon Stewart's epic battle pose here with a lot of green and the harsh white highlights. This is an amazing cover. That's the one that's going to go on my wall. Deciding between number 1 and number 2 was extremely difficult. Probably the most difficult decision I've ever had to make in my life. But I had to put the new Magic comic in second place. So this is the new Magic the Gathering number 1, although technically it's simply called Magic, even though Previews World here calls it as Magic the Gathering MTG number 1. So we've got Jed McKay as writer, interior art by Ig Guara, and cover art by Matteo Scalera. A new beginning for the pop culture phenomenon of Magic starts here from McKay and Guara. Perfect for new readers and longtime fans. I'm a longtime fan. I played Magic back in the 90s. I gave it up for a long time, and then I started again in 2017, and I'm totally addicted. I mean, I like to play. So this is brand new stories, canon-ish in the world of Magic. And I'm on board because I'm starved for Magic comics. IDW is publishing the last volume, and they really dropped the ball on that series. This is supposed to be an ongoing series, so I can't wait to check it out. We have all our favorites, Ral, Vraska, Chase, Kaya, and more. Probably some Drudge skeletons there. There's a variant cover. This is the variant cover, the hidden Planeswalker variant. There's actually a few alternates of these that you kind of get randomly, apparently, either by Miguel Mercado, Taj Tenfold, or Magdalena Pagowski. We have either Liliana commanding her Dread Horde here. That looks amazing. We've also got a Soren Markov looking bloodthirsty, very cool. Or we've got Kaya right there after a long day of ghost hunting. We've also got a blank variant cover. I usually don't love the blank variant covers, but this is purple. Just a deep purple variant cover. Blank variant cover. This is kind of cool. Can't decide which one to get, but if you had to force me to pick only one, I would pick the Liliana variant cover here for a brand new Magic series. This is number 2 on the list. What would have been better than Magic that dethroned it from number 1? I picked this issue number 1 for number 1 this week, The Rise, number 1 of 6, written by George C. Romero, art by Diego Yapur. The film Night of the Living Dead changed popular culture forever, and now George C. Romero, the son of legendary film director George A. Romero, tells the story before the worst night on Earth. So the son of the creator of the zombie genre comes to us with a brand new zombie comic. This is over from Heavy Metal Magazine. We don't have any interior art to browse. As you can see here, I've ordered it, I've subscribed to it, I want it all. If there's variant covers, I want them all. Night of the Living Dead is one of the best zombie movies ever, one of the best movies ever. It's so moody, it started the genre, great music, great characters ahead of its time, and now here we have a comic book version. The last Night of the Living Dead comics were coming from Avatar, which were, I think, a little bit more violent than I would have liked them. Yeah, it's a zombie movie and all of that. But let's see what Heavy Metal does with the concept. And I want to see how far the rotten apple falls from the dead tree with George C. Romero doing the writing. And that was my top 10 list. What do you think? What did you like? What was I missing? Tell me about it in the comments. What are other issue number 1s that are coming out this week that you think I should know about and tell the masses? Or head over to the Patreon, patreon.com/vmcampos. Join the VMC crew for $1 to unlock exclusive stuff, such as giveaways and contests. At the $2 range, I'll mail you some comic books in appreciation for joining the crew, or simply follow for free there on Patreon to be alerted to everything that I do. If you can't pledge at the moment, no worries. Simply like this video, comment, share it, tell people to subscribe, all that stuff. I really appreciate it. This has been VM Campos, and I'll see you in the comic shops.